They say she only appears after midnight. On an empty street, under the cold light of a single lamppost. Dancing. Her smile never changes. Her eyes never blink. And if you watch her long enough, she'll follow you home. This is the story of Luka. And the night the Serbian dancing lady chose him. It was the winter of 2022 in Belgrade. Luka, a 24-year-old photographer, was walking home from his friend's apartment. The time was almost 1 a.m. The streets were empty. Streetlights were spaced far apart, throwing pale yellow circles into the darkness. He was talking to his mother on the phone, assuring her he'd be home soon, when something caught his eye. In the middle of the road, just ahead, stood a woman. A long, tattered white dress clung to her thin frame. Her black hair hung loose, covering most of her face. And then she began to dance. The movements were odd, smooth but unnatural, almost mechanical. Her arms swayed in deliberate motions, her feet tapping lightly against the asphalt in a rhythm only she seemed to hear. At first, Luka thought maybe she was drunk, or perhaps mentally unstable. But as he slowed his pace, the dance continued. Perfectly timed, almost hypnotic. He was about to cross the street to avoid her, when her head snapped toward him. It wasn't a normal turn. It was fast, unnatural, the sound of something twisting too far. Her smile was wrong, too wide, too fixed, and her eyes were pure black. Luka's body froze. The woman kept dancing, but now each step brought her slightly closer. Footsteps growing louder, tap, tap, tap. Panic surged through him. He turned and began walking away quickly. The tapping footsteps grew faster. Luka broke into a run, cutting across a side street, his breath visible in the freezing air. When he finally reached the corner and dared to look back, the street was empty. He reached his apartment, slammed the door shut, and locked it. His heart still pounded as he walked to the window to shut the curtains. And then he froze. Under the lamppost outside his building, she was there, still dancing, still smiling. Her head tilted upward, looking straight into his window. The next morning, Luka went to his friend Marco, telling him everything. Marco laughed, until Luka showed him the security camera footage from outside. The woman was visible, but she flickered, appearing and disappearing like a broken TV signal, and in every frame, her head was turned toward the camera. Marco's smile faded. He told Luka about the old Belgrade legend, the Serbian dancing lady. They say she appears only at night, always dancing. Anyone who stops to watch her for too long vanishes within days. No body is ever found. Some say she was once a dancer who lost her mind mid-performance, killing her entire audience before vanishing into the streets. Others believe she's a spirit, cursed to dance forever to a song that only she can hear, searching for someone to take her place. That night, Luka tried to sleep, but in the quiet darkness, he began to hear it. The sound of dancing feet, growing closer. Fine by the fourth night, she was closer to his window than ever before. The music was no longer faint, it was inside his head. Luka couldn't take it anymore. He grabbed his flashlight, his camera, and stepped outside. She was waiting under the lamppost. This time, she stopped dancing when she saw him. Her smile twitched. Slowly, she raised one hand and beckoned him closer. Luka's voice shook. "What do you want from me?" She tilted her head and whispered, "It's your turn to dance." Her body lunged forward at an impossible speed. The camera fell to the ground, the recording catching only Luka's terrified scream, the pounding tap-tap-tap of frantic dancing feet, and then silence. And then Luka was never found. His apartment, his belongings, left behind. but neighbors still whisper about the nights after he vanished. When they looked out their windows and saw two figures under the lamppost, the woman in white and a young man beside her, dancing in perfect, endless rhythm. If you ever find yourself walking alone past midnight and you hear footsteps behind you, don't turn around, don't listen to the music, and for God's sake, don't watch her dance.